opening a 1,000-year-old tomb and what's inside that shocked all archaeologists. Archaeologists opened the tomb of China's most beautiful princess, and what's inside shocks them. China's Xinjiang Autonomous Region, an important part of the historic Silk Road, is not only a crossroads of Asian and European cultures, but also a place that holds many astonishing archaeological mysteries. One of the most remarkable discoveries here is the mummy of Princess Xiaohe, an impressive relic dating back approximately 3,500 to 4,000 years from the Xia and Shang dynasties of ancient China. The Xiaohe cemetery site was first discovered in 1934 by Swedish archaeologist Bergman. However, actual excavations did not begin until 2003, after the site had been buried under desert sands for decades. This cemetery, containing a total of 167 graves, has provided deep insights into the ancient civilization of the region. Among the notable discoveries is the tomb of Princess Xiaohe, one of the best-preserved mummies ever found. When the tomb was opened, the archaeologists were astonished by the perfect preservation of the mummy. The princess's face was undamaged, with deep eye sockets, long and thick eyelashes, and a high nose. Notably, her skin still appeared youthful, and the outline of her lips remained clear, giving the impression that she was smiling. Princess Xiaohe wore a white hat, and her hair was carefully preserved. She was dressed in a large white woolen cloak, which was draped from right to left and fastened with 2 carved wooden pins and 2 short red willow sticks at the edge of the cloak. Additionally, she wore a red string necklace with beads and a cylindrical jade bracelet, along with a pair of leather boots. A particularly intriguing detail is that Princess Xiaohe's body was covered with a white substance, later identified by archaeologists as a compound made from dairy products. This substance helped preserve the mummy in the arid conditions of the desert. Her coffin, boat-shaped and wrapped in cowhide, was buried deep under the sand. Inside the coffin, there was some cheese, likely a burial offering reflecting beliefs in reincarnation during that era. Through DNA analysis, scientists discovered that Princess Xiaohe had a mixed heritage between Asian and European ethnicities, offering new insights into the cultural intersections of the region. This mummy has been displayed at numerous exhibitions and museums, where many visitors were amazed by her nearly perfect beauty. However, scientists say they cannot verify how or why she has a smile from a scientific perspective. Perhaps future generations will simply appreciate it as a beautiful legacy left by Princess Xiaohe for everyone. Interestingly, archaeologists later used graphic software to restore the princess's appearance. The portrait impressed viewers with a modern beauty, and many believe that Princess Xiaohe may have been even more beautiful in life. As you can see, throughout human history, archaeological discoveries worldwide have continually inspired curiosity and exploration. From ancient historical relics to cultural treasures, each discovery serves as a window into the past, providing valuable insights into the development and diversity of humanity on this planet. Excavations and studies are not only about understanding the heritage of past cultures, but also offer us an opportunity to better understand human nature, the cultural and historical links between nations worldwide. From the mysteries of the Chinese princess's tomb to the ancient lands of Egypt and the Mayan ruins hidden deep in the forests of Central America, these archaeological discoveries are not only mysteries of the past, but also an ongoing source of inspiration for the future. In fact, one could say that these discoveries are the building blocks that shape the perfect picture of human civilization's development on this planet. At the same time, they are stories of discovery, patience, and the passion of humans seeking understanding about themselves and the world around them. So, besides this remarkable discovery, what else have archaeologists uncovered over the years? Let's take a journey back in time to explore these intriguing and mysterious archaeological finds. The sword in the 3,000-year-old tomb still shines. In the ancient lands of Donau-Ries, Bavaria, southern Germany, a remarkable historical discovery has captivated the world when an over 3,000-year-old sword was found by archaeologists at an ancient burial site. According to the Bavarian State Office for Monument Preservation, this sword was discovered buried in a grave alongside the remains of 3 people: a man, a woman, and a teenager. The sword was so well preserved that it still shines, with an octagonal hilt made entirely of bronze. It is believed to date back to the late 14th century BCE, the Middle Bronze Age, making it an extremely rare artifact. Professor Matthias Feil, director of the Bavarian State Office for Monument Preservation, shared that the sword's condition is perfect, and such a discovery is truly rare. Upon examining the sword's features, researchers believe that it could have been a real weapon, not just a piece of jewelry or a symbol. However, many mysteries remain about the three individuals buried with the sword. No one knows their relationship or their social status, although they were buried with a variety of grave goods, marking a ceremony of great respect and reverence. This remains a truly puzzling ancient mystery. Fossilized electric plug. What comes to mind when you think of fossils? Perhaps just the remains of plants and animals. But in reality, what can be preserved in fossils is beyond your imagination, such as electric components that are commonly seen today, like a three-phase electrical plug. In 1998, an electrical engineer named John Williams discovered a three-phase plug embedded in a stone while on vacation, and he brought the stone with the plug back home. At the time, many scientists realized that this mysterious plug could be the remaining evidence from an earlier civilization, so they immediately contacted the discoverer, Williams, and examined the stone. Initially, the age of the stone was estimated using carbon-14 isotope detection, and it was concluded that the stone could be around 100,000 years old. Afterward, they conducted research to determine whether the plug was a fake, and discovered that the three-phase plug embedded in the stone showed no signs of being a counterfeit and had formed naturally. More importantly, when they used X-rays to scan and probe inside, they found that the plug still had a certain weak magnetic pull, meaning that, under certain conditions, this strange plug could even function normally. Additionally, scientists believe that based on the inlay method of the plug on the stone, it should have been the plug first, followed by the stone, which means that the 100,000-year-old estimate is not the age of the plug, and its creation could be much earlier, perhaps thousands of years ago. In this case, there are increasing speculations about this mysterious plug, with some suggesting that it might have been left by an alien civilization, while others think it belongs to Earth and was created by prehistoric civilizations on Earth. Of course, some believe that the three-phase plug closely resembles the plugs used in human society today, indicating that it could have been created by an earlier generation of human civilization, and it might even be considered evidence that humanity once destroyed it. Isn't that fascinating? The ancient Nazca Cemetery. The Chachila Cemetery, located in the southeastern desert of the Nazca city in Peru, is considered one of the most haunting cemeteries in the world. It dates back to around the 9th century, but it wasn't discovered until the 1920s. And it wasn't until 1997 that the Peruvian government officially began to protect it. According to scientists, this is a cemetery belonging to indigenous people, and the owners of the tombs here were part of the Nazca civilization. They were mummified and buried with gold jewelry and pottery. It is known that the Nazca civilization flourished from around 100 AD to 800 AD. However, this civilization mysteriously declined and disappeared, possibly due to desertification, which caused the civilization to fade quietly. The Nazca people were known for their excellent craftsmanship, including pottery and textiles, as well as technical achievements like underground aqueducts that still function well today. According to the burial customs of the ancient Nazca people, the dead were buried with pottery, daily items, and gold and gemstone jewelry, which were common in Nazca civilization. Additionally, some sources suggest that this cemetery was a luxury burial ground, containing the bodies of shamans who were highly respected in Nazca society. When burying these important individuals, besides jewelry and common items, people would bury exquisite stone artworks or valuable treasures so that they could continue their work in the afterlife with peace of mind. This is why the cemetery became a target for professional grave robbers. Unfortunately, the lives of those buried in Chachila, which had been peaceful for thousands of years, were disrupted after archaeologists uncovered the cemetery. The grave robbers were aggressive, carrying weapons and willing to attack anyone who stood in the way of their pursuit of wealth. Not only were they ruthless in taking the belongings of the dead, but they were also very rough in their methods. After archaeologists discovered the site, the thieves arrived, digging through the grounds to find unexcavated graves, then smashing and looting for jewelry inside. The damage they left behind included scattered pottery fragments and human bones that were destroyed during their hunt. In response to this, the Peruvian government was forced to enact laws to protect the cemetery in 1997. The government also organized a team to collect scattered pottery shards and bones from the area and return them to their respective tombs. What makes Chowchilla so haunting to tourists is that most of the remains here are nothing more than dry skeletons, coated with resin and wrapped in cotton cloth. One of the striking features of this cemetery is that many of the mummies have their jaws open, as if they are grinning in an inexplicable manner. These ancient mummies are usually placed in a sitting position, facing east, the direction of the sunrise. According to scientists, this unusual posture is due to the burial customs of the indigenous people. To preserve the bodies almost intact until today, in addition to the elaborate burial rituals, the locals also knew how to use advanced mummification techniques. Interestingly, near the cemetery, scientists found an area with many large upright wooden posts placed close together. Initially, everyone thought these were tools for astronomical research or religious symbols, but in fact, they were used to dry out the bodies before burial, slowing down the decomposition process entirely. However, many scientists believe there was no mummification technique at Chowchilla. The reason is that the ancient people took advantage of the dry, hot climate of the desert for burials, creating favorable conditions for preservation. 1,000-year-old blood mask on the coast of Peru. A historical archaeological project called Sican began in the 1990s and has continued for decades to explore pre-Inca cultures. Along the northern coast of Peru, a team of archaeologists from this project discovered a gold mask in a tomb, a find that was also quite surprising. The gold mask is believed to be over 1,000 years old. It was affixed to the face of a male skeleton, particularly notable because the head was severed, and the body was positioned in a curved posture, resembling that of a fetus in the womb. Inside the tomb, the male skeleton was positioned in the center, surrounded by two female skeletons and two curled-up children. Many gold items were also buried with them, indicating that the owner of the tomb was a wealthy and socially prominent individual from ancient times. According to research, the male skeleton is estimated to have been between 40 and 50 years old, belonging to the ancient Sican culture that lived along the northern coast of Peru from around the 8th to the late 14th century. The Sican people were renowned for their fine metalworking skills, and most personal and ceremonial items were made from pure gold. The gold mask had a red color, and the paint was still visible on the face of the skeleton, indicating that the mask was painted after being placed on the deceased's face. Initially, archaeologists thought the red paint was cinnabar, but upon further analysis, they discovered that the paint was made from human blood mixed with cinnabar and egg whites. Researchers hypothesized that the application of blood paint on the mask, along with the unusual positioning of the skeleton, could have been part of a ritual for rebirth for the tomb's owner. The women and children buried with the man may have been family members or servants, buried together as part of a burial companion ritual for the deceased. If this is true, it was undoubtedly a terrifying and barbaric act in the ancient world. Discovery of a massive treasure during land renovation. In Pembarthi village, Telangana, India, a stunning discovery occurred when workers were carrying out land renovation for real estate entrepreneur Metu Narsimha. They uncovered a massive treasure, which included a pot containing about 6.7 ounces of gold, 3.8 pounds of silver jewelry, a 0.23-ounce ruby, and many other valuable artifacts. Upon learning of this, local residents believed that these items had been used as offerings to a goddess worshipped at a temple in the area in the past. As a result, they held prayer sessions, lit incense, and offered flowers at the discovery site. The landowner, Mr. Narsimha, was thrilled to find the treasure. In fact, a video recording of his reaction was shared on Twitter. However, the local authorities of Genghis district in Telangana took control of the site and the treasure after receiving a report. The district officials stated that once they were notified, they would confiscate the valuable items and send them to the appropriate authorities. Additionally, guidelines were issued to the landowner to halt excavation activities in the area until further notice. Meanwhile, the villagers and local council members are calling for the construction of a temple at the site. There had been rumors about the existence of a temple there, but many people didn't believe it until this discovery. Now, they are completely convinced and believe building a temple at the location is necessary. As for the treasure, its origin and era have not yet been determined. However, according to Indian law, if property is older than 100 years and there is no proof of ownership, it belongs to the government. This is truly a frustrating and unjust situation for the people, especially the one who discovered the massive treasure, don't you think? The Tomb of Cerberus. The Tomb of Cerberus is a remarkable discovery made by archaeologists in the town of Giugliano, Campania, Italy. In this tomb, they found unique murals, particularly one depicting Cerberus, the three-headed dog from ancient Greek mythology. The mural of Cerberus is not only a valuable historical artifact, but also a symbol of magic and mystery. It offers a window into the mythical world of ancient Greece, where extraordinary creatures and symbols existed. Cerberus, with its three ironclad heads and fiery eyes, has always been a symbol of strength and power. The painting not only vividly depicts this monstrous dog, but also evokes a sense of excitement and fear. The presence of Cerberus in this tomb may have been especially significant to the ancient people, highlighting the deep connection they had with the supernatural world. It could also symbolize protection and guardianship for the deceased in the afterlife. For archaeologists, the discovery of the mural of Cerberus represents a significant step forward in understanding the culture and beliefs of the ancient people. It opens up new opportunities to study and delve deeper into their world of imagination and religious beliefs. This mural also raises many new questions about the tomb and the person buried within it. What role did Cerberus play in their lives? Why did they choose Cerberus to represent the afterlife? These questions will continue to make this tomb intriguing and full of mystery for both researchers and those interested in ancient cultures. Ruins of Nero's Theater. Recently, Italian archaeologists conducted an excavation and uncovered the remains of Theatrum Neroni, a private theater that Nero built in the city of Rome during his reign over the Roman Empire. Theatrum Neroni was not only a large architectural structure, but also a symbol of Nero's power and opulence. It is believed to have been the place where he enjoyed artistic performances and entertainment, including during the Great Fire of 64 AD, an event that caused widespread damage and reshaped Rome. The discovery of these ruins has provided an opportunity to gain a better understanding of the life and times of Nero, who was known for his tyranny and eccentricity. Theatrum Neroni was not just a place of entertainment, it was also a symbol of power and Roman culture during that period. Archaeologists are conducting further research on these ruins, hoping they will offer additional insights into life and art during Nero's reign. This could help us better understand the development and transformation of ancient Rome and shed light on some of the mysteries surrounding this infamous emperor. Finding the remains of Theatrum Neroni is an important step in exploring the architectural and cultural heritage of ancient Rome. It stands as a testament to the wealth and extravagance of an important historical era, while also opening up new opportunities to learn about one of the most famous figures of the ancient world. A 1,000-year-old artifact in a crocodile's stomach. In Mississippi, a special event took place when locals discovered a massive crocodile measuring 13 feet long and weighing 750 pounds. However, what was even more remarkable was that inside the crocodile's stomach, two ancient artifacts, dating back thousands of years from Native American history, were found. Specifically, John Hamilton, a hunter living in the U.S., had an unforgettable hunting trip when he caught this crocodile at Eagle Lake. After sharing his hunting achievement, Hamilton remarked, "This was truly an unforgettable hunting trip for me." In some states, when citizens turn 16 or older, they can apply for a crocodile ownership license, and John Hamilton had become a legal crocodile hunter. When he brought the crocodile he hunted to the slaughterhouse, Hamilton requested that the stomach of the animal be opened. He mentioned that he had heard of finding a dog's tag in a crocodile's stomach in South Carolina, and he was curious to see if there was anything interesting in the stomach of the crocodile he had caught. To his surprise, an astonishing discovery was made when the staff at Red Altler Processing found two ancient artifacts inside the crocodile's stomach. James Starnes, the director of geology and mapping at the Environmental Quality Bureau, confirmed that these two artifacts were from thousands of years before Christ. One was an atlatl spear point from 6000 BC, and the other was a black elliptical stone from 1700 BC. It is known that the location where Hamilton hunted this crocodile is one of 19,000 prehistoric archaeological sites. The spear point found was a heavy-duty hunting spear used by ancient hunters or warriors. As for the black elliptical stone, researchers are still investigating its use, with initial theories suggesting it could have been used for fishing, though this is still just a hypothesis and its true function remains uncertain. Nonetheless, this discovery is incredibly new and serves as proof that crocodiles are formidable beasts that can eat anything they want and do whatever they can. A 2,900-year-old engraved picture in the earth. 5 years after a robbery occurred in a secret room in Turkey, archaeologists made a great discovery. A complex from the Iron Age was uncovered at the site. In May 2022, the research team found an unfinished artwork carved on a stone wall dating back to the 9th century BC, showing a unique blend of cultures during the Iron Age. This stone wall carving is an excellent representation of the merging and interaction between different cultures in the area. Its appearance serves as evidence of the rich and diverse cultures of the ancient world. The images engraved on the stone wall provide us with insights into the life and beliefs of people living during the Iron Age. They depict religious symbols, scenes of daily life, and possibly the core cultural aspects of the community. This discovery opens a new window for understanding and exploring the history and culture of this region. It offers valuable information about the progression and development of humanity from ancient times. What makes this discovery particularly remarkable is that the unfinished artwork also raises many new questions and hypotheses. It could be part of a larger artistic project, or it could be a personal expression of a local artist. Regardless of the cause, this discovery has sparked renewed interest and excitement among the archaeological community and art enthusiasts worldwide. A mysterious mummy, unexpectedly discovered by scientists on Mars, shocks the world. Alien body on Mars. A controversial video was recently uploaded to YouTube by the account StreetCap1, where the researchers shared a mysterious image from the surface of Mars, again captured by NASA's Curiosity rover. In the video, an unusual object appears in the photo that looks like a person. When zoomed in, the figure appears to be lying face down, with a large head and long legs, sparking curiosity and speculation among the space-loving community. Some believe this could be evidence of extraterrestrial life, perhaps a creature that is either dead or still alive. However, many skeptics argue that this is just a naturally shaped rock, formed by the harsh winds and environment on Mars. As a result, the online community quickly split into two sides, one supporting the alien hypothesis and the other insisting this is either an optical illusion or a natural occurrence. Despite the debate, researcher StreetCap1 strongly claimed that his discovery was attracting attention from intelligence agencies. He stated that some intelligence agents had entered social media to oppose his hypothesis in order to conceal the truth. In an interview with the UK's Express newspaper, he even mentioned major US intelligence organizations like the CIA and NSA, which he believes are monitoring and intervening with this information. However, both organizations have not made any official comments about StreetCap1's allegations. I wonder what you think when you see this image. For me, regardless of the truth, this picture has sparked heated debates about the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the interference of agencies in controlling information. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that aliens really exist. Therefore, the question of whether extraterrestrial life exists remains a great mystery for humanity. Alien spaceship crashes in the Nevada desert. The online community is buzzing about a video captured by Google Earth showing a strange triangular object that looks like a spacecraft. This object is believed to have crashed in the Nevada desert about a year ago, making many people curious about its origin and the truth behind it. In the video, the triangular object stands out against the dry desert backdrop, making it all the more unusual and difficult to explain. Some internet users have commented that this could be a spaceship that landed and has been hidden in the desert. They speculate that this object could be part of a crash of an alien spaceship that occurred long ago but has never been revealed. However, some people are skeptical and believe this is just a natural phenomenon or an artificial object left behind by humans. One factor that has drawn attention to this discovery is the location of the object. It lies within the same area as the famous Area 51, which has long been associated with UFO and alien conspiracy theories. Because of this, many are more inclined to believe the theory that this is actually an alien spaceship. To further authenticate the claim, The person who uploaded the video used online measuring tools to estimate the size of the object, stating that each side of the object is about 4,140 feet long. After being posted, the video quickly gained over 7,000 views, continuing to spark curiosity among the online community about the true origin of this mysterious object. As you can see, with such blurry images, it is really hard to explain what this object is. It leaves me feeling quite confused, to be honest. The alien grave. Throughout history, there have been many stories of UFO crashes, wreckage, and the bodies of unfortunate beings that were seized and concealed by local governments. However, the tale of an alien's grave at the end of the 19th century still captures the attention of UFO experts. Specifically, the small town of Aurora, Texas, an area with barren land and little of interest to passers-by, suddenly became famous for the incident of a UFO crash and the discovery of an alien corpse. On April 15, 1897, a flying object appeared hovering above the center of the town. The object seemed to have mechanical issues, and soon after, it collided with a windmill located on Judge Proctor's property, causing a massive explosion that destroyed the windmill, water tank, and the object itself, with wreckage scattered everywhere. The townspeople rushed to the wreckage, and to their surprise, they found that most of the debris was made of a light metal, similar to a mix of aluminum and silver, which had never been seen before. The pilot of the flying object lay dead on the ground amidst the wreckage. Though his body was deformed, it was clear he was not from Earth. The alien body was found with a piece of paper resembling a newspaper, on which were scribbled symbols, similar to hieroglyphs, the meaning of which remains as mysterious as the strange flying object. The townspeople collected the debris and dumped it into an old well before sealing it up. The alien body was buried at the nearby Aurora Cemetery in a small grave with a simple, crudely carved headstone depicting the mysterious ship. Soon after, the story of the UFO crash spread, attracting curious visitors to the town to see the site of the crash and the alien's grave. Many have dismissed the story as a hoax or a joke. However, there are numerous eyewitnesses who claim to have seen the flying object, witnessed the crash, and seen the alien body. Furthermore, statements from the new owner of Judge Proctor's property, Brawley Oates, have added credibility to the story. In 1945, he reported finding pieces of the alien spacecraft buried in the well. However, the fumes rising from the well made him dizzy, and he had to seal it off with cement. For decades, the location of the alien grave was forgotten, until UFO enthusiasts discovered documents related to the incident. UFO hunting groups began conducting investigations and published some noteworthy findings. One of the first investigations was carried out by Bill Case, a correspondent for the Dallas Times-Herald and director of the Texas UFO Network. He interviewed several eyewitnesses and examined the Aurora Cemetery. In 1973, he claimed to have found the alien headstone, which was nothing more than a small stone, half broken, bearing what was believed to be a carving of a flying saucer structure. Using a metal detector, he identified large metal fragments buried beneath the stone. The search group requested permission from the city to excavate the site believed to be the alien's grave but was denied. The story grew even more mysterious when Bill Case later claimed that the metal fragments had disappeared, possibly taken by someone in secret. Soon after, the headstone was stolen, and the site believed to be the alien's grave was once again lost. Another notable investigation was conducted by the team behind the UFO Hunters TV program in 2008. This group approached Brawley Oates' grandson, who had sealed the well due to concerns about harmful gases. Oates allowed them to open the well, but no mysterious debris was found. Upon testing the water, it was found to be normal, except for high levels of aluminum. The UFO hunters also surveyed the Aurora Cemetery, searching for the lost grave with ground-penetrating radar. They appeared to have found a promising location and requested permission from the authorities to dig it up, but were again denied. Unable to excavate the remains and unable to confirm whether the grave contained an alien, the mystery of the UFO in Aurora remains unsolved. To this day, the location of the alien grave, if it ever existed, remains unknown, although the cemetery still bears a plaque stating that an alien is buried there. The story of the UFO incident in Aurora and the lost alien grave has been widely discussed in recent years. One notable theory suggests that it was simply a publicity stunt to attract more visitors to the town. Others hypothesize that the crash might have occurred, but not from an alien, but rather from a mad scientist testing his flying machine. However, whether the Aurora story is true or not, this event continues to intrigue UFO experts, especially with recent media reports where a U.S. Navy official confirmed the authenticity of video footage showing UFO encounters. The alien accidentally captured by a camera. A recently viral video has attracted significant attention when two British tourists captured an unusual image in the Amazon rainforest. The footage, posted on YouTube, shows a mysterious creature resembling an alien standing behind an ancient tree. What is particularly striking is that the creature was only a short distance away from the group filming, creating a moment that left viewers both shocked and intrigued. Although the video primarily focuses on children playing, in the background, among the misty forest, unexplained shimmering lights can be seen. The video was discovered by Michael Cohen, a journalist and expert in the field of paranormal phenomena, who assessed it as an authentic clip that would be difficult to fabricate. Cohen believes that this unusual sighting is not the result of special effects, but rather a reliable recording of an unexplained event. The footage was taken in an area that has often been associated with UFO sightings and alien encounters. If aliens do exist, they might be interested in this area due to its unique biodiversity. What makes this event even more interesting is that the Amazon, where the footage was filmed, was once the target of a military operation called Operation Prado. This was a high-level government investigation in Brazil, where the military was sent to monitor and confirm reports of alien presence in the region. Because of this, the video not only captivated the online community, but also became part of the long-standing mysterious stories surrounding the Amazon. Cohen plans to send the video to Hollywood filmmakers to verify its authenticity and check if any special effects were used. Is this legitimate evidence of extraterrestrial life, or is it merely an odd coincidence? This question remains unanswered, but I am sure it will continue to spark curiosity among netizens and scientists, prompting further searches for answers in the near future. The secret alien base. Do aliens really exist? If the answer is yes, where are these extraterrestrial beings hiding? These are the questions that intrigue many. Over the years, numerous experts and scientists have made efforts to find evidence to unravel the mysteries surrounding aliens. Of course, not only scientists, but also UFO hunters have been on the lookout, searching for signs of extraterrestrial life. One location that has long been suspected of harboring a secret alien base is Antarctica. In 2017, a group of UFO hunters using Google Maps discovered a massive 500-meter-long object resembling a large chunk of ice that had separated from the edge of Antarctica. These UFO hunters believe that this strange object is actually an alien base. This base is located at the coordinates 72 DG43 Sa 13.53 S and 78 DG 40 21.56 W. In addition, in 2020, alien hunter Scott C. Waring claimed to have found evidence of extraterrestrial life in Antarctica through Google Earth. Waring specifically captured an image of a strange creature approximately 65 feet tall, standing next to an entrance that was about 72 feet high. He declared that this strange creature was an alien, standing in front of the entrance to its secret base. Furthermore, in 2021, another UFO hunter claimed to have discovered an unusual structure under the Antarctic waters, featuring a series of straight lines forming right angles, located about 112 miles from the Antarctic coastline. This structure was described as being underwater. From here, some believe that aliens might have built a secret base in Antarctica, but over time, this structure has sunk underwater. Nevertheless, extraterrestrials may still be hiding in this underwater base. UFO hunters suggest that if an expedition is carried out in this area, it may soon lead to the discovery of extraterrestrial life and potentially answer the long-standing question of whether aliens truly exist. The alien lair on the moon. Recently, India has been frequently mentioned in the media regarding planetary exploration, as they have officially conquered the moon with sharp, high-resolution footage capturing scenes from its surface, something that many other countries have yet to achieve. However, this achievement is overshadowed by the recent release of a video by India, which claims to show aliens, sparking mixed reactions online. Half of the viewers were amazed, while the other half remained skeptical. According to a post shared on the morning of September 9th on a live streaming channel in India, experts released a video showing a drone that discovered a dark corner of the moon where there was an alien lair. When the recording device appeared, the group of aliens reportedly ran out of the lair to chase it away, only to return inside, with the surrounding area entirely barren and covered in dust. However, what raised doubts among viewers was the fact that the aliens in the video looked strikingly similar to cartoon characters. Some wondered if this was simply a product of special effects or a sensational story created by India's tabloid media to intrigue the audience. After watching the video, many sighed, unsure of who the real aliens were in this scenario. Despite the buzz, the authorities in India have yet to comment on the matter, and the existence of aliens remains a mystery to humanity. The work of aliens beneath the Pacific Ocean. Over the past decade, hundreds of tiny metallic spheres have fallen into the Pacific Ocean, catching the attention of scientists, particularly the research team led by astrophysicist Abraham Loeb. Loeb's team collaborated with authorities to determine a 6.2-mile radius where the meteorites might have landed, and they then approached the area aboard the Silver Star ship to conduct their search. During the expedition, they discovered and retrieved more than 50 unusual metallic spheres from the ocean floor, which further fueled theories about extraterrestrial technology. Meanwhile, the U.S. Space Command confirmed that these fragments were almost certainly not from Earth, but originated from another star system. When experts analyzed the composition of these metallic spheres, they found them to be made up of 84% iron, 8% silicon, 4% magnesium, 2% titanium, and small amounts of other elements. These spheres were tiny, less than 0.04 inches in diameter, but they displayed unique colors, such as gold, blue, and brown, and under a microscope, they appeared strikingly different from the surrounding environment. Some spheres even resembled miniature models of Earth. Astrophysicist Loeb stated that his research team calculated that these spheres were traveling at speeds of up to 37 miles per second when leaving the solar system, faster than 95% of all stars in the Sun's neighborhood. The materials that made up the spheres were even stronger than iron meteorites, leading the research team to suspect that these might be spacecraft from another civilization or extraterrestrial technology. Of course, this is not the first time Loeb has proposed the idea of extraterrestrial technology existing within our solar system. As mentioned earlier, in 2017, he and his colleague Shmuel Bialy suggested that the object Oumuamua, first discovered within our solar system, could be an alien probe. Therefore, the discovery of these metallic spheres once again sparks theories about the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations and their exploration of our beautiful planet. Aliens appearing and disappearing in the Sahara Desert. With the help of technology, humans can leave Earth and witness the vastness of the universe, and in doing so, we realize how small Earth is. From a cosmic perspective, the Milky Way, the solar system, and even Earth itself are just specks of dust. As we become aware of the enormity of the universe, one question arises: is Earth the only planet with life in the universe? Whether or not extraterrestrial life exists is a subject of ongoing scientific research, as there is ample evidence on Earth suggesting that extraterrestrial life may have visited here, such as various reports of people having seen aliens. Recently, attention has been drawn to the Sahara Desert, as some believe UFOs have been there. Many scientists believe that an alien civilization may have existed deep within the Sahara Desert. In the quest to explore the universe, the search for extraterrestrial civilizations has become a top priority for humanity. People are both curious and anxious about extraterrestrial life, but so far, no extraterrestrial civilization has been discovered in the universe. This is why the potential existence of an alien civilization in the Sahara Desert has attracted many scientists to investigate. Not long ago, enthusiasts of mysterious civilizations discovered traces of extraterrestrials in the Sahara Desert, and rumors spread that they had captured images of aliens and their spacecraft. The Sahara itself is considered a mysterious place, and the possibility of contact between aliens and humans is highly intriguing. It is reported that a German tourist, while photographing children, captured unidentified creatures in the lens. Initially, people did not pay much attention, thinking it might just be some kind of desert wildlife. However, the creature in the photo appeared rather strange, with very long arms and eyes much larger than a human's. Definitely not like any earthly creature. What perplexed the tourist even more was the presence of a strange-shaped spacecraft above them. There are many such photos taken in the Sahara Desert. For example, some time ago, a similar incident occurred when local residents reported to the police that strange creatures had appeared near the desert. The heads of these creatures were especially prominent, their bodies emitted light, and they could produce sounds. After this information was leaked, some people ventured deeper into the Sahara Desert to investigate again. Scientists discovered that most of these photos were taken with very high resolution, making them difficult to alter digitally. This led scientists to believe that extraterrestrials may indeed be present in the Sahara Desert. They suspect that a mysterious force is hidden deep within the desert, and it is likely that they are still there, remaining highly secretive in a place that humans are unable to detect. Due to the extremely harsh environment of the Sahara Desert, explorers must exercise great caution during their investigations, as many life-threatening dangers may arise. Classic archaeological discoveries captured up close by camera that will scare you. 3001. Swords protecting the tomb, beneath the lake for over 2,000 years. Ancient people valued death as much as life, believing that a well-prepared death would ensure a better afterlife. This belief led to the construction of many massive tombs and the burial of exquisite treasures to serve them in the afterlife. Therefore, one of the most remarkable archaeological discoveries related to this story is the tomb of King Go, along with the 3001 treasured swords buried over 2,000 years ago. King Gao's tomb, also known as Prince Guang's, is one of the great mysteries of Chinese archaeology. According to the Vietnamese history book, an epic from the spring and autumn period, the tomb of King Go is located at the foot of Hukou Mountain, beneath a lake that is nearly 6.56 feet deep. This detailed description led archaeologists to search for the tomb, but the meticulous descriptions and protective measures made finding it extremely difficult. King Gao was the 24th king of the state of Wu during the late spring and autumn period, famous for having great ministers such as Wu Zixu and Sun Tzu. However, when war broke out and the state of Wu was defeated by the state of Yue, King Go was severely wounded and died. His son built a sturdy tomb for his father at the foot of Hukou Mountain and applied unique protective measures to prevent tomb robbers, including pouring large amounts of mercury and flooding the area around the tomb. The tomb of King Gu is believed to have special protection with 3001 bronze swords buried around it, forming a solid protective barrier. The presence of these swords is not only recorded in history, but has also become part of legend. A famous story tells that King Yue Gaojian, who defeated King Go when visiting the tomb, had to fight a ferocious tiger and threw his sword into the lake to restrain the tiger. From this event, the lake containing the swords was called Sword Lake. In 1978, Chinese archaeologists decided to drain the lake to excavate King Gu's tomb. After clearing the silt, a triangular-shaped cave was discovered, confirming the location of the tomb. However, excavation continued to be difficult due to the tomb being submerged in water and containing mercury, a highly toxic substance. To this day, although archaeologists have confirmed the existence of the tomb and the possibility of valuable treasures, the 3001 swords remain part of the legend, yet to be fully verified. The 200 elixirs in an 800-year-old tomb. In traditional East Asian culture, burial customs in tombs play a very important role, reflecting the belief that a respectful burial will bring peace to the living. In China, burial customs are very diverse, including single graves, joint graves for couples, and family tombs containing multiple generations. One of the most remarkable recent archaeological discoveries involves a joint tomb excavated in Xiangshan, near Nanjing, China in the 1960s. This tomb dates back to the Eastern Jin period, from 317 to 420 AD, and contains many valuable artifacts such as gold porcelain plates and gold and silver jewelry. Notably, one of the most striking discoveries was over 200 pills placed beside the tomb's occupant. Although the body of the tomb's owner had decomposed, the inscriptions within the tomb provided valuable information. The tomb's owner was Wang Ban, a powerful official of the Eastern Jin dynasty and the uncle of the famous calligrapher Wang Siji. The woman buried alongside him was his daughter, Wang Danhu. Wang Danhu, born in 302 and passing away in 360, lived to the age of 58. It is noteworthy that she never married, which was quite rare during ancient times when women typically married at 16. Experts later confirmed that the pills in the tomb were the famous Elixirs from the Wei and Jin periods, known as Wuxi San. Wuxi San was invented by Zhang Zhongjing, a renowned physician from the late Eastern Han period. Initially, this medicine was used to treat colds. However, during the Wei and Jin periods, it became a highly sought-after remedy by the nobility in hopes of extending life and achieving immortality. Users believed the medicine could help them live longer. However, using wushisan led to many strange symptoms, which experts explained as misuse. Modern science has shown that the belief in wushisan was misguided. Research into its components reveals that it contained mercuric sulfide, a highly toxic substance. Consuming mercuric sulfide can cause damage to the nervous system, reduce fertility, and lead to death from metal poisoning. Despite all this, it remains a mystery whether Wang Danhu's death was related to these pills, as the only thing that might provide an answer, the body, has completely decomposed, making it impossible to verify. However, the fact that these pills were placed in her coffin alongside her demonstrates the tomb owner's obsessive obsession with wushisan. Experts also speculate that Wang Danhu may have been influenced by her father to consume this medicine in the hope of achieving immortality, which might explain why she chose not to marry. The 2,500-year-old coffins in Saqqara. Recently, a remarkable archaeological discovery was made at the Saqqara cemetery in Egypt, where archaeologists unearthed 80 coffins dating back over 12,500 years, all still sealed. This discovery has not only sparked the interest of the archaeological community, but has also attracted the attention of the media and political leaders in Egypt. Among the coffins uncovered, many have colorful exteriors and intricate decorations. Experts opened some coffins under the watch of reporters to explore their contents and gather information. This marks an important step in the study of ancient Egyptian culture and burial customs. In addition to the coffins, archaeologists also discovered many gilded wooden statues, showcasing the refinement in the art and religion of this period. Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, along with Minister of Tourism and Antiquities Khalid El-Anani, visited the excavation site to assess the historical and cultural value of the new findings. About 2 weeks ago, another excavation at Saqqara revealed 59 intact coffins that had not been opened yet. The discovery of so many coffins containing mummies means that experts will need to carefully classify and examine them to determine the gender, names, social status, and lives of the deceased. Saqqara, being one of the most important archaeological sites in Egypt, is famous not only for its discoveries, but also for its ancient structures such as the Great Pyramid of Giza and smaller pyramids in Abu Sur, Dashur, and Abu Ruwaish. This area is home to at least 11 pyramids and hundreds of tombs of officials from the First Dynasty to the Coptic period, reflecting the richness and diversity of ancient Egyptian history and culture. The 60 mummies from the New Kingdom period. A team of archaeologists from the University of Basel in Switzerland recently discovered a large tomb complex containing nearly 60 mummies, dating back to the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt during the New Kingdom period, 1590 to 1078 BCE. Egypt's Minister of Antiquities, Muhammad Ibrahim, stated that these royal mummies were unearthed in a tomb carved deep into the rock in the Valley of the Kings, located about 430 miles south of Cairo. In addition to the mummies, the tomb complex also contained wooden sarcophagi, linen and plaster masks depicting the faces of the deceased. Hieroglyphic texts inscribed on several clay pots found within the tomb revealed the names and titles of 30 princesses connected to pharaohs Thutmose IV and Amenhotep III, who ruled Egypt during the New Kingdom. Among these names were two princesses mentioned for the first time, Ta-Imwag-Is and Neferonibo. Located on the western bank of the Nile, opposite the city of Luxor on the eastern bank, the Valley of the Kings is one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world. From the 16th to the 11th century BCE, the ancient Egyptians constructed many tombs here for pharaohs and powerful officials of the New Kingdom. As of 2008, in addition to the 60 mummies discovered, archaeologists had found 63 tombs, the largest of which contained 120 rooms. After the discovery of the legendary pharaoh Tutankhamun's tomb in November 1922, the city of Luxor and its surrounding area became one of Egypt's most popular tourist destinations. The largest stone sarcophagus in Alexandria. In July 2018, An astonishing archaeological discovery drew worldwide attention when a massive granite sarcophagus, measuring 8.5 feet long, was unearthed in Alexandria, Egypt. This is considered the largest sarcophagus ever discovered in this historic city. The sarcophagus was found next to a giant stone head, which may belong to the person buried inside the tomb. This discovery not only provides new insights into ancient Egyptian burial practices, but also offers valuable information about the Ptolemaic period. The ancient tomb was excavated by researchers from Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities during a survey in the Sidi Gabr district of Alexandria. The discovery occurred while the team was inspecting the area before construction work began. The sarcophagus, buried more than 16 feet deep, is dated to the Ptolemaic period, which lasted from 332 to 30 BCE, over 2,000 years ago. The sarcophagus is made of black granite and has impressive dimensions: 6 feet tall, 8.7 feet long, and 5.4 feet wide. Dr. Ayman Ashmawi, the head of the ancient Egyptian antiquities team, stated that the mortar between the lid and the body of the sarcophagus shows that it had not been opened since it was sealed. This raises many questions about the identity of the person buried there and the connection between the giant stone head and the tomb. In addition to the sarcophagus discovery, in May 2018, Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities also announced another important find from the Ptolemaic period at the archaeological site of San El Hagar. The research team unearthed a huge Roman bathtub along with artifacts such as pottery jars, terracotta statues, bronze tools, carved stone fragments, and a statue. However, the most remarkable find was a gold coin depicting the face of King Ptolemy III, a 3rd century BCE ruler, which was discovered at the site. The gold coin weighs about 1 ounce, measures 1 inch in diameter, and is inscribed with the phrase "Prosperous Land," along with the king's name. Dr. Ashmawi believes that the large red brick structure found at San El Hagar could be part of a Greco-Roman era bathtub, approximately 52 feet long and 11.5 feet wide. Researchers hope that further excavations will shed more light on this structure and its function in the past. The Graveyard of 75 Whales in the Desert. Scientists have been baffled by the cause of death of 75 whales found in a desert nearly 0.6 miles from the sea. This whale graveyard is considered one of the best preserved prehistoric whale graveyards ever discovered, with 20 completely intact skeletons. The graveyard consists of 75 whale skeletons of species that lived on Earth 2 million years ago, discovered in June 2010 during a highway construction project. Most of the fossils are from baleen whales that are about 26 feet long. Additionally, the skeleton of an extinct species of dolphin, previously found in Peru, was also discovered. However, the most perplexing aspect for scientists is how nearly 100 prehistoric whales, and more are expected to be found, most of which were the size of a bus, ended up dying in one corner of the Atacama Desert in Chile. Researchers speculate that these whales may have gathered in a bay, and an earthquake could have isolated the bay from the ocean, causing it to dry up over time and trap the ancient whales to their death. Alternatively, it could have been caused by a massive storm that washed the whales ashore and left them stranded. However, these are only initial theories. The true story behind the event remains a great mystery awaiting resolution. The spine-chilling mystery inside a 2,000-year-old sarcophagus in Egypt. Recently, scientists used CT scan technology to uncover the secrets inside a 2,000-year-old Egyptian mummy. This mummy, known as Hawara Portrait Mummy No. 4, is notable for the portrait painted on the outer coffin lid and is part of the collection at the Block Art Museum at Northwestern University. This discovery marks an important advancement in understanding ancient Egyptian mummification practices. The Hawara portrait, Mummy No. 4, was unearthed in 1910 at Hawara, Egypt, and dates back to the 1st century AD, during Egypt's time under Roman rule. According to Professor Stuart Stock, the lead author of the study, during the Roman period in Egypt, people began to mummify with portraits attached to the outside. While thousands of mummies were made, only about 100 to 150 portraits remain. The surprising part of this study is that the portrait on the coffin shows an adult woman, while CT images reveal that the mummy is actually that of a girl around 5 years old. This finding shows the discrepancy between the image and the reality of the mummy and reveals no signs of trauma on the child's body, indicating that the cause of death was not injury. The mummy's length is about 37 inches from the top of the skull to the soles of the feet, with the outer wrappings extending an additional 2 inches. The CT analysis also revealed 36 needle-like objects distributed across the body, 11 around the head and neck, 20 near the feet, and 5 in the upper body. These objects were identified as metal wires or nails used to fix the body in place during mummification. Additionally, scientists discovered an unusual layer of residue on the outer wrappings of the mummy, which could be a mixture of mud used to secure the bandages around the body. Notably, a small elliptical object about 0.28 inches long, made of calcite stone, was found within the wrappings around the abdomen. This object is likely an amulet placed by Egyptian priests to protect the soul from potential harm during the mummification process. However, due to the resolution of the CT images not being high enough to reveal the details of the amulet, its exact shape remains uncertain. Chilling discovery of mass grave reveals Mongol army's knockout blow during their invasion of Europe. An archaeological excavation in Yaroslavl, Russia, led to a remarkable discovery of a mass grave dating back to the brutal Mongol invasion of the 13th century. This discovery is directly linked to the 1238 conquest led by Batu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, when the city of Yaroslavl was ravaged by the Mongol forces. The excavation, which took place at the site of the Assumption Cathedral and 13th century building that was destroyed in 1937, uncovered about 9 burial pits containing the remains of more than 300 victims, highlighting the brutal scale of the attack. According to Asya Engovatova, a researcher at the Institute of Archaeology of the Russian Academy of Sciences, RAS, Batu Khan's campaign is considered the greatest national tragedy, surpassing all other tragedies in terms of its cruelty and devastation. Recent DNA testing results reveal that the Mongols massacred entire families during their bloody campaign across Central and Eastern Europe, including Russia. The most recent mass grave, found beneath the ruins of a wealthy house that was burned during the attack, contained the bodies of 15 people, including men, women, and children. These individuals had decomposed severely before being hastily buried in a shallow grave. DNA analysis revealed that some of the victims were members of the same family across 3 generations: a grandmother about 55 years old, a daughter aged 30 to 40, and a grandson about 20 years old, along with a 4th family member buried nearby. The data indicates that the bodies decomposed before burial, with the corpses lying in the snow for an extended period. By May and June, swarms of flies began to infest the decaying bodies, leading to the mass burial by the end of spring. The bones of the victims also showed signs of violent death, with stab and cut wounds. Evidence of fire destruction indicates that the entire city was burned, confirming the scale and brutality of the Mongol invasion. These discoveries not only shed light on the horrors of the attack, but also provide valuable insight into the disasters the residents of Yaroslavl endured. The Creator's Map. In 1999, Professor Alexander Chuvarov from Bashkir State University, Russia, made an important archaeological discovery. He was invited to the home of Vladimir Kranov, who had found a strange stone slab buried in his yard. The slab was so heavy that it took a week to remove it from the ground. This discovery was named the Dashka stone and later became known as the Creator's Map. The stone stands at 4.9 feet tall, 3.6 feet wide, 6 inches thick, and weighs about 2,200 pounds. It was sent for research and is believed to be a 3-dimensional map of the Ural region. The Dashka stone features images of architectural structures, irrigation systems, and large dams. To this day, the origin of the technology that created this map remains a mystery and is considered extremely advanced. The stone's age has been determined to be about 100 million years old. If it is authentic, it would be evidence of an extremely advanced civilization. Researchers believe this map could have been used for navigation. Recent findings suggest that the stone is part of a much larger artifact, which is still under study and has not been publicly disclosed. Treasures in the 2,000-year-old tomb reveal the incredible intelligence of the ancients. On June 23, 1968, an important archaeological discovery shocked the academic world and the globe when a unit of the People's Liberation Army engineers dug tunnels on the eastern slope of Mount Lingshan, about 0.9 miles southwest of Mancheng County, Baoding, Hebei. Here, they uncovered the tomb of Prince Jing Liushang, a powerful general of the Western Han Dynasty, along with his wife, Lady Du. The tomb remained largely intact, providing valuable insights into the intelligence and technology of ancient civilizations. Prince Liushang died in 113 BCE after ruling Zhongshan for 42 years. Liushang was a well-known figure with a rich personal life, having 22 children and 120 grandchildren. His and his wife's tombs were buried in 2 caves located on the mountainside, each with 2 rooms, one for the coffin and a larger main room. The tomb contained a rich and diverse array of over 2,700 cultural relics, including many jade burial items, gold-plated bronze incense burners, and exquisitely crafted cooking tools such as pots, kettles, pans, bowls, and food containers. Among the artifacts, the bronze cauldron with bare feet was considered the most intriguing discovery. The cauldron is elliptical in shape, standing 7.1 inches tall, with a diameter of 6.8 inches and a belly width of 7.9 inches. What's remarkable about the cauldron is that its 3 legs are engraved with images of bears sitting and smiling, creating an elegant yet adorable design. The lid of the cauldron is equipped with 4 small animal-shaped loops, allowing it to be tightly sealed, similar to the mechanism of a modern pressure cooker. According to Shuowen Jiezi, a Chinese dictionary from the 2nd century CE by Xu Shen, the shape of the cauldron with 3 legs and 2 ears was used for cooking food and storing spices, indicating that it served a role similar to today's pressure cookers. In an era when manufacturing technology was rudimentary, the creation of a bronze cauldron with a locking lid and a rubber seal to ensure a perfect airtight fit was an astounding feat. The bronze cauldron with bare feet not only demonstrates exquisite design, but also serves as a testament to the out-of-time creativity of ancient Chinese civilization. Its discovery has opened a new chapter in the study and understanding of the technology and art of the Western Han Dynasty. The most mysterious and terrifying archaeological discoveries that scientists never expected. Gay people. 5,000 years ago. Many people, including some scientists, still believe that homosexuality is a product of modern civilization, with the trend increasingly spreading. But was this the case during the early stages of human society? It wasn't until 2011 that Czech archaeologists could provide an answer. Yes. Specifically, in 1964, scientists discovered historical evidence showing that the first same-sex couple appeared around 2400 BC. They were 2 male royal nail workers in ancient Egypt named Niankhnum and Khnumhotep. Upon their deaths, they were buried together as if they were a married couple. At first, when this tomb was discovered, scientists speculated that perhaps the pair were twin brothers buried together. They temporarily called the tomb the Tomb of Brothers. But as they continued their research, they found that the images in the tomb, which depicted 2 men, resembled those of a married couple more than of brothers. What was surprising was that Niankhnum had a wife. Some images of his wife were painted on the tomb, but they were later erased for unknown reasons, and in some pictures, Khnumhotep was painted in the position of the wife. The names of Niankhnum and Khnumhotep were also written next to each other, with the meaning together in life and death. Scientists believe this is truly a surprise, and perhaps a royal secret that was kept hidden. At that time, only pharaohs and close royal family members were allowed to build tombs, so it's certain that Niankhnum and possibly Khnumhotep were related to the royal family. According to the scientists, the word gay or homosexual didn't appear in the modern sense until 1920, and before that, such relationships were rarely mentioned in history. If this is the case, then concluding that homosexuality is a product of modern civilization is completely wrong, as it has existed since ancient times. Homosexuality, along with bisexuality and heterosexuality, is one of the 3 main sexual orientations on the sexual orientation spectrum, with asexuality sometimes considered the 4th. According to science, sexual orientation is not a choice, but is influenced by complex factors of both genetics and environment. Homosexuality is an example of the diversity of human sexual orientations, and it is not the cause of negative psychological effects. To this day, there are still many studies aimed at answering the question, where did homosexuality come from and when did it first appear? It's difficult to answer this question. What do you think the answer might be? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section so everyone can know. Steel coffin containing the remains of 50 British soldiers. Recently, an incredible discovery was made when researchers found the wreck of the British submarine HMS Tarpon, located 70 miles off the coast of Denmark, nearly 8 decades after it went missing at the bottom of the sea. This is not only a significant scientific event, but also a tragic and mysterious story tied to the history of World War II. The first images recorded by the diving team showed a chilling sight. The submarine's periscope was shattered, several hatches were wide open, and there was severe damage to the hull, likely the result of a torpedo attack. Notably, 2 empty torpedo tubes clearly indicated the brutal nature of the underwater battle. The discovery of the HMS Tarpon wreck was the result of years of dedicated research by an international team of experts, including Gert Norman Andersen, the owner of the Maritime War Museum in Denmark, and Dr. Innes McCartney, a maritime archaeologist at Bournemouth University in the UK. The research team used advanced sonar technology to pinpoint the location of the ship. When found, the Tarpon lay upright on the seabed, surrounded by schools of cod, debris, ropes, and fishing nets, all relics of time. The tragic journey of the HMS Tarpon began in April 1940, when the 275-feet submarine departed from Rosyth, Scotland, with the mission of attacking merchant ships supplying weapons to Nazi-occupied Norway. Just 5 days after departure, the Tarpon launched 2 torpedoes at the armed merchant ship Schiff 40. However, both torpedoes missed their target. The German Navy detected the British submarine through sonar, and in a swift counterattack, they dropped mines that caused the Tarpon to sink, killing all 50 crew members aboard. This discovery is not only an important archaeological event, but also carries profound humanitarian significance. By regulation, the wreck of the HMS Tarpon is considered a mass war grave of the British military. It is not just a historical monument, but also a reminder of the sacrifices made by soldiers in the brutal wars of the past. And surely the story of the HMS Tarpon will continue to inspire research into warfare, history, and underwater technology. So what can we do to remember and honor those who sacrificed their lives in this war? Perhaps we each need to take a moment to reflect on the tireless efforts of the researchers who not only uncovered the truth about the lost submarine, but also brought the deserving tribute to these once-forgotten heroes. The mysterious hanging coffins. In the majestic mountainous region of Gongxian, Sichuan, China, there is a mysterious and enigmatic story waiting to be uncovered. It involves ancient wooden coffins hanging in mid-air, hidden on the sheer cliffs, suspended by just 2 to 3 simple wooden beams. This is a strange burial site, with tombs that have existed for thousands of years, yet no one truly knows why the ancients chose such a peculiar method of burial. According to researchers, these tombs belong to the Bo people, an enigmatic tribe that vanished around 400 years ago. Each coffin is made from a hollowed-out tree trunk. One of the oldest tombs among them dates back over 3,000 years, while the most recent one is only about 400 years old. No one really knows why the Bo people buried their deceased in this manner, but researchers believe that this method of burial was not only a ritual, but also a way for the living to connect with the divine. The coffins hanging on the cliff faces were not just the resting places for the dead, but also a way to bring their souls closer to the gods, to remain in eternal peace and protection. Furthermore, it is believed that hanging the coffins on such high cliffs also served to protect the bodies from being disturbed by wild animals, while blessing the souls of the departed, ensuring their tranquility and immortality through time. As you can see, although no one can precisely prove the reasons behind these tombs, the hanging coffins on the cliffs of Gongxian remain a vivid testament to the secrets of a vanished culture. We, the living, cannot help but wonder if we also have our own unique ways of facing death and preserving the memories and spirits of our ancestors for eternity. These tombs, though only remnants, are still a part of a story that we have yet to fully uncover. The mysterious deep pits in the forests of Russia. Since the late 1980s, mysterious pits have been discovered in the dense forests of Russia. This strange phenomenon has since become a scientific enigma with no satisfactory explanation. These peculiar pits have been found in three main regions: Ryazan and Kaluga provinces in the west, and Krasnoyarsk in central Russia. Some appear to have existed for hundreds of thousands of years, while others seem to have appeared overnight. These pits are deep and vertical, as though drilled by some advanced, sophisticated machine. The most famous pit, which went viral online, is located in a dense forest that is inaccessible by car or truck and where no equipment can be brought in to dig deep into the earth. There were no signs of earth or rock being excavated. Another mysterious pit was discovered in Kaluga by a shepherd named Pyotr Malinkin. While grazing his herd on the pasture, Malinkin wandered around the area within a 3-mile radius and suddenly discovered a large pit with a diameter of about 20 feet. Malinkin was astonished, as this was something that had never occurred before. It seemed as if the pit had appeared overnight. The herd of cows seemed to sense something dangerous. They appeared frightened, unwilling to approach the pit or graze on the grass nearby. When researchers arrived to investigate the site, locals told them that the pit had only appeared overnight. There were no signs of digging equipment nearby, and no earth or rock had been removed from the pit. The pit was not perfectly round but had an oval shape. Inside, the pit's walls were smooth, with a depth of about 15 feet and some water collecting at the bottom. Locals also mentioned that several decades ago, a large pit had appeared about 1.25 miles from the area. In the past, villagers would throw sacks of grain into the pit as offerings. During the Soviet era, they even threw branches and stones inside, but could never fill the pit. However, when researchers arrived to check, they could no longer find the pit, as trees and brush had covered the area. Near the pit, there is a strange spring known as the Angry Spring. Whenever someone approaches, the water in the spring begins to boil. If people talk nearby, the water will boil even more intensely. Notably, there used to be a church where the spring flows, and according to ancient accounts, the church was buried underground when Napoleon's army invaded the area in 1812. The cause of this event remains a mystery. Some explain that Kaluga is located on a limestone area. Groundwater corrosion could have formed limestone caves beneath the earth, and the church may have been sucked into one of these caves. However, this does not explain the appearance of the strange pits or why the walls of the pits are so perfectly smooth and slick. There are many different hypotheses to explain these mysterious pits. Some believe they are a natural phenomenon, while others insist they were dug from beneath the earth by a mysterious group of people. Some even speculate about extraterrestrial involvement, claiming the pits are the result of aliens taking soil samples. However, all these hypotheses remain speculative, with no solid scientific evidence. The truth behind these strange pits remains an enigma that challenges our limited understanding. Wam, the 10 million square feet underground city beneath an ancient castle. Beneath the historic foundations of the ancient Zeravan Castle in the Diyarbakir province of southeastern Turkey, scientists have uncovered an incredible settlement. It is a multi-level underground city that spans an area of up to 10 million square feet, with the capacity to house thousands of people. The excavation also revealed fortifications in the form of walls and watchtowers surrounding the ancient castle. Meanwhile, the mysterious city beneath the castle includes a church and a water canal that stretches for several miles at least. Additionally, archaeologists unearthed a seal from the Assyrian period, engraved on a stone block dating back 3,000 years. Zeravan Castle itself, also known as the Samachi Fortress, is a monument with a rich and diverse history. Originally, the castle was established as a frontier outpost for the Roman Empire in the 3rd century AD. The castle was later inherited, expanded, and modified over the centuries, primarily during the 3rd to 5th centuries. Today, the castle is in ruins, but it still attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, even though the visitor center has yet to be completed. Legend has it that during peaceful times, around 1,500 people, including soldiers and civilians, lived within the castle walls. However, during times of conflict, the population within the fortress swelled to up to 10,000 people, including locals seeking refuge. This may have been the reason for the creation of the mysterious underground city, which was carefully renovated. Around 6 residential areas have been excavated around the castle within its defensive walls. Archaeologists estimate that up to 100 such residential areas lie beneath the surface. The excavation is ongoing, with hopes to uncover more about this unique method of habitation, as well as the remarkable findings that have already surfaced, including administrative buildings and weapons storage areas. The tunnel beneath the pyramid reveals the mystery of the Maya serpent god. Around the early 16th century, Spanish invaders discovered the Kukulkan Temple at the Chichen Itza archaeological site in Mexico. This pyramid, once owned by the ancient Maya, hides unsolved mysteries. Recently, yet another mystery at Kukulkan was uncovered. Experts have discovered a secret tunnel inside the pyramid, believed to lead to an underground water cave known as a cenote, where the Maya performed live human sacrifices. With this discovery, archaeologists believe that the mystery of Maya religious beliefs will soon be revealed, as the Maya knew of this underground cave but never had access to it. Specifically, experts from the Great Mayan Aquifer Project, led by archaeologist Guillermo de Anda, used the latest imaging technology. They employed ground-penetrating radar, sending electromagnetic signals through the thick walls and structures within the pyramid and mapping the entire site using the feedback signals. As a result, they found a passage leading to a smaller burial chamber called the ossuary. Although the path is currently sealed, the Kukulkan pyramid was built between 900 and 1100 AD, making it a millennium-old monument. The name Kukulkan actually refers to the Maya god, depicted as a giant feathered serpent. Kukulkan grew in a cave and would appear with an earthquake. In 2015, scientists discovered a massive sinkhole beneath the temple. At that time, they feared that this sinkhole could lead water upwards, as there is an underground river below, which might cause the entire pyramid structure to collapse. This underground cenote is believed to be connected to other sinkholes to the north, west, and east of the pyramid. The sinkhole directly beneath the pyramid measures around 82 to 115 feet in diameter and is 66 feet deep. The Terracotta Army of the First Emperor of China. The tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, is considered the largest mausoleum in the world, and also one of the most bizarre burial structures in human history. It lies deep underground in a hill in central China, over 2,000 years old, surrounded by a moat filled with mercury. The tomb holds the secrets of the first emperor of China, who died in 210 BC after uniting 6 warring states into one unified China. The K9801 burial area, located between the inner and outer walls, lies about 656 feet southeast of the tomb. This rectangular flat area, with a length of 426 feet, east-west, and a width of 328 feet, north-south, covers more than 139,931 square feet, making it the largest burial site found within the Qin Shi Huang tomb complex. Archaeologists have unearthed a large number of stone helmets and armor, woven with copper wire, stacked on top of each other. The armors total 87 pieces and the helmets number 43. Experts have analyzed that the armor-making technique had to combine the technology of crafting protective gear of that time. First, they made armor blanks out of slate, then ground them into armor pieces, drilled and polished them, and finally connected them using copper threads. Through experiments, it was found that if a worker were to craft a single suit of armor using 600 pieces, working an average of 8 hours a day, it would take from 344 to 444 days to complete. This means it would take at least 1 year to make a single suit of armor. The helmets and armor in the burial area are estimated to be made of over 5 million pieces of stone, indicating that a large workforce was needed for their production. An estimated 700,000 war prisoners and slaves likely participated in constructing this complex and waterproof structure. Afterward, they were killed to keep the secrets of the tomb hidden. According to historical records, this vast underground complex contains thousands of stone armors and helmets. Currently, 2 pits have been excavated containing horse reins, chariot parts, bronze axes, arrows, and other military items. Therefore, experts believe that this burial site of Qin Shi Huang should be called the Underground Weapons Vault. According to Chinese historical records, Qin Shi Huang, born in 259 BC, was the first emperor of the Qin Dynasty, one of the 6 ancient Chinese states. These smaller states fought among themselves for over 200 years until Qin Shi Huang conquered all of them and unified China, declaring himself emperor. When he died, Qin Shi Huang was buried in one of the most magnificent tombs ever built in China. It is a vast complex of tombs and palaces, larger than a city, containing underground caves filled with armies, concubines, servants, and the luxuries that the emperor would need in the afterlife. Today, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang has become a major tourist destination, attracting scholars and visitors from all over the world. However, the secrets inside the tomb of this emperor remain a mystery and continue to be explored by archaeologists. The fossilized woolly mammoth of the Ice Age. About 200,000 years ago, a majestic and mysterious scene unfolded in what is now near the town of Swindon, England. The gigantic skeletons of 2 adult mammoths, 2 juvenile mammoths, and a baby mammoth were unearthed, opening up a previously untold story about a distant era in Earth's history. What makes this discovery even more special is that alongside these remains, archaeologists also found stone tools used by Neanderthals. These prehistoric people, with their impressive intelligence and strength, might have hunted these 10-ton creatures, not just for food, but also as a challenge posed by the freezing nature of the environment. However, this is not all. The vast excavation site could still hold many more discoveries, providing important clues about a period few of us know about. The excavation site lies in a gold mine, which was once home to the giant creatures of the Ice Age, such as the moose with antlers over 30 feet long. These animals were not only impressive in size, but also serve as evidence of environmental change, climate, and the interaction between species. Not only large animals, but even small creatures contributed to this ecological picture. A species of dung beetle evolved alongside the giant animals, feeding on their dung and using it as shelter. Seeds, pollen, and plant fossils, including those from extinct species, were also preserved over millions of years, reminding us of the biodiversity of a glorious era when everything was interconnected. Archaeologists consider this discovery one of the most important finds in British paleontology. One of the marvels of this excavation is the discovery of almost complete mammoth skeletons, which is extremely rare. In fact, during the survey, researchers discovered that the location where these mammoths fell is where they had died hundreds of thousands of years ago, alongside valuable artifacts like stone tools and seashells, items they might have trampled underfoot. What is interesting is that these discoveries not only help us imagine the lives of these giant animals, but also give us a clearer understanding of the lives of Neanderthal ancestors. The traces and tools they left behind shed light on a key part of human history, showing us how humans faced the harsh conditions of the Ice Age. Some skeletons even show signs of slaughter, highlighting the relationship between Neanderthals and these giant creatures. Scientists believe the mammoths and the artifacts date back to around 220,000 years ago, when Britain was still inhabited by Neanderthals during an interglacial period known as MI7. Over time, the cold climate forced Neanderthals to migrate south, and the area became a vast plain where both animals and humans coexisted. The steppe mammoth, the largest mammoth species, arrived about 5 million years ago and survived until around 200,000 years ago. They could weigh as much as 33,000 pounds, 3 times the weight of today's African elephants. This shows the incredible adaptation of these elephants to the ever-changing environment. However, surveys also suggest that these creatures may have died due to a massive ice flood or from being hunted by Neanderthals. All these discoveries provide a profound view of life during the Ice Age, helping us not only understand the existence of ancient animals, but also explore the complex relationship between them and the Neanderthals, people who survived and adapted in a world full of challenges. Their story is not only about survival, but also about how humans have and may continue to learn from nature to survive in an ever-changing world. What do you think about this discovery? A 900-year-old skeleton found in ancient tree. After huge storm shocks, archaeologists. In May 2015, a powerful storm struck Collooney, a town in County Sligo, located on the northwest coast of Ireland, toppling a 215-year-old oak tree. After the storm subsided, as the locals began clearing the debris left behind, they were shocked to discover a human skeleton at the base of the ancient tree. They immediately notified the authorities, who came to investigate, suspecting a possible case of a murder with a hidden body from the past. The police later confirmed that it was an ancient set of human remains. The National Monuments Service of Ireland hired an archaeologist to excavate the bones and uncover what had occurred there. Archaeologist Linda Lynch and her colleagues from the private consultancy Sligo Leitrim Archaeological Services conducted initial analyses, which revealed that the bones belonged to a young man, approximately 17 to 20 years old. The researchers also carbon dated the bones and found that the young man had died during the medieval period, sometime between 1030 and 1200 AD. What was shocking was that the young man's death appeared to have been the result of violent torture. Lynch found fractures on the ribs and hand bones, likely caused by a knife. It seemed the young man had endured severe torture before his death. The body had been buried intact, but when the tree was uprooted, the upper half of the skeleton got caught in the tree's roots, while the lower half remained in the ground. Archaeologist Marion Dowd, director of SLAS, said, "The entire skeleton was originally intact, but the upper portion was badly damaged by the tree roots. We can assume that he came from a local Gaelic family. Due to the Anglo-Norman Wars after 1169, this individual might have been a victim of a conflict or personal dispute." Researchers also noted that the young man had been buried according to official Christian burial rites. No artifacts were found with the skeleton. Dowd further explained that the area where the remains were discovered was rural, and by the 19th century, there was a church and cemetery nearby. However, no further traces of Gaelic people have been found, and the true story of what happened remains an unsolved mystery. As you can see, the ancient world is full of mystery, leaving behind perplexing questions, right? No matter how skilled we are, we can't always decipher it all. This is evident not only from this mysterious 900-year-old skeleton, but also from many other discoveries made by archaeologists before. So, what special discoveries have archaeologists made in recent years? Let's find out now. Perfectly preserved food in an ancient Chinese tomb. In 1959, archaeologists in Xinjiang, China, excavated an ancient tomb in Tarpon and made some fascinating discoveries. Inside the tomb, the experts found dumplings that had been remarkably well preserved, despite having been buried underground for thousands of years. The most surprising thing was that these dumplings remained intact in shape and color, almost identical to the dumplings we see today. This was truly a surprising discovery, wasn't it? Dumplings are not a new food. They have been enjoyed for thousands of years in China, and they were particularly popular in the western regions. In addition to the dumplings, the archaeologists found many other types of pastries in the tomb, such as mooncakes, sweets, and some other desserts, indicating that the cuisine of that time was rich and diverse. According to experts, one of the key factors that helped preserve these foods so well is the climate in the Xinjiang region. With its hot weather and long periods of drought, these foods lost moisture quickly, which helped preserve them for millennia. This unique climate helped prevent the foods from decaying or changing over time. Additionally, based on the foods found in the tomb, experts believe that the tomb's occupant was likely someone from a wealthy class. People in ancient times often believed that when they passed away, they would continue to live a prosperous and abundant life in the afterlife. Therefore, they would bury their favorite items, including food, clothing, and valuables, in the tomb, hoping that the deceased would live as comfortably as they did during their lifetime. What do you think of this ancient Chinese custom? I find it quite fascinating, and this discovery not only helps us better understand ancient culinary culture, but also opens up interesting reflections on the beliefs and customs of people in the past. Strange fossils in the Sahara Desert. Fossils scattered across the planet are the remnants of life forms from ancient geological eras that have been buried and preserved within the Earth's crust. While fossils can be found in many parts of the world, the Sahara Desert is home to some of the oldest, largest, and most mysterious fossils ever discovered. These ancient remains provide valuable insight into the history of our planet and the diverse creatures that once roamed it, including humans. Among the first and most mysterious fossils discovered in the Sahara was that of a giant crocodile. In 2014, paleontologists unearthed the skeleton of one of the largest crocodiles ever found. Named Machimosaurus rex, this prehistoric monster was twice the size of any crocodile seen today. It weighed at least 6,600 pounds and measured around 32 feet long. The fossil was buried in Tunisia on the edge of the Sahara Desert. Machimosaurus rex was likely the top predator in the region, which was once a sea that separated Africa from Europe about 130 million years ago. Federico Fonti, from the University of Bologna, a member of the team that made the discovery, even described it. Its skull was as large as that of an adult human. Just the skull itself was over 5 feet long. It was a giant crocodile. It was so big and powerful that it was undoubtedly at the top of the food chain. The next discovery was of a mysterious 480 million-year-old creature. This creature, discovered in the 1850s, brought with it many mysteries at the time, but those mysteries were finally resolved in early 2019 when highly detailed fossils were uncovered in Morocco. These fossils allowed paleontologists to identify the strange creature. Known as stylophorans, these life forms resembled decorative drawings on walls with long arms extending outward. Previously, scientists were unsure whether these creatures even fit within the animal kingdom's evolutionary tree. However, new research revealed that they were distant relatives of animals such as starfish, sea lilies, sea urchins, feather stars, and sea cucumbers. Although these unbelievable fossils were excavated on the edge of the Sahara Desert in 2014, researchers did not realize that some of the 450 specimens uncovered included soft tissue that had been preserved. This discovery put an end to a 150-year debate about where these strange fossils belonged on the Tree of Life. Next came the discovery of a new pterosaur species and an unknown sauropod. Finding a new dinosaur species is rare, but discovering 2 new species on one expedition is the dream of any paleontologist. In 2008, however, a team of paleontologists made that dream come true when they uncovered a new pterosaur and an unknown sauropod in the Sahara Desert. The pterosaur was identified by a large piece of its beak, while the sauropod was represented by a bone measuring over 3 feet long, indicating a herbivorous creature that was nearly 66 feet long. This extinct giant lived nearly 100 million years ago. Pterosaur fossils are particularly rare because their bones are light and fragile, optimized for flight, making them rarely found in well-preserved states. Nizar Ibrahim, a graduate student from the University of Dublin who led the expedition, declared, "Most pterosaur discoveries are just fragments of teeth and bones, so finding most of the beak was incredible, and it was enough to say we had a new species." Finally, there was the discovery of the oldest fossil of Homo sapiens. This discovery was made by miners in Morocco when they unearthed several skull fragments at a site called Jebel Irhoud in 1961. Additional bones were found in later excavations, along with flint tools and charcoal, indicating the use of fire. Researchers initially estimated the bones to be about 40,000 years old, until a paleontologist named Jean-Jacques Hublin examined a jawbone in the 1980s. While the teeth resembled those of modern humans, the shape of the jaw appeared more primitive. Using a method called thermoluminescence dating, researchers determined that the jawbone was around 300,000 years old and belonged to Homo sapiens. However, the discovery sparked controversy as anthropologists are still debating the exact physical traits that distinguish modern humans from their ancestors. The oldest widely recognized fossil of Homo sapiens was about 200,000 years old, so this new discovery pushed the emergence of our species back by 100,000 years. Unique treasure in Poland. In the small village of Bartosze, Poland, in January 2025, the son of a local farmer accidentally discovered a 2,500-year-old treasure while clearing a field to allow livestock better access to water. It was a broken copper necklace. Recognizing that the necklace might be an ancient artifact, the farmer alerted local authorities for experts to investigate. After careful examination, experts confirmed that it was indeed a necklace dating back about 2,500 years. This was the only necklace found in the area from that historical period. According to experts, around 2,500 years ago, the world was transitioning from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. The necklace was made of copper and decorated with circular double groove patterns. Based on the dating of the necklace and historical records from this era, researchers suggest that this artifact may have belonged to someone from the Hallstatt culture. However, some experts believe the necklace could also have belonged to people from the Kurgan culture. A relic carrying the mysterious stories of people from 2,500 years ago is fascinating, isn't it? But perhaps the mysteries behind it will intrigue you even more, as experts at the Archaeological Institute of Nicholas Copernicus University in Torun are still studying the necklace to uncover its hidden secrets. Once the analysis is complete, the necklace will be transferred to a museum for display, allowing history enthusiasts like you and me to admire and connect with a part of humanity's glorious past. Surely every time we look at this necklace, we will see not just an ancient artifact, but a marvelous story concealed within it. And who knows, this could just be the beginning of a journey to explore many more historical secrets. Strange tree, growing from the body of a missing man, found 40 years later. In September 2018, the UK's Mirror reported a strange and mysterious story involving the remains of a Turkish man named Ahmet Ergun, who had been missing for 40 years. The remarkable part of the story is that his body was not discovered through traditional search methods, but through a surprising clue: a fig tree growing from his stomach. The story began in 1974, when conflict erupted between Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots. Ahmet Ergun was one of the victims of this conflict. He and 2 others were captured and taken to a remote cave in Cyprus, where they were executed by explosives. The explosion was so powerful that it created a hole in the cave wall. However, after his tragic death, no one knew the fate of Ergun's remains, and his family lived with the pain of his unexplained disappearance. What's even more strange is that in 2011, a botanist discovered a fig tree growing in the cave where Ergun was killed. The fig tree was not a common species in the area, which intrigued the researcher. He decided to dig around the tree's base and accidentally uncovered a human skeleton. This discovery was immediately reported to the police, and during subsequent excavations, investigators found a total of 3 sets of remains. DNA testing confirmed that one of the skeletons belonged to Ahmet Ergun, the man missing for 4 decades. At the time, his 87-year-old sister, Munur Erguner, was deeply moved as she recalled, "We used to live in a village of 4,000 people, half Greek Cypriot and half Turkish Cypriot. In 1974, the conflict broke out. Ahmet joined the Turkish resistance organization. On June 10, 1974, the Greeks took him. My family searched for him for years, but in vain." She also believed that the fig tree was a sign that helped the family locate her brother's body. However, this story faced opposition from several organizations, including the International Committee of the Disappeared. According to Cyprus Mail, the fig tree did not grow from anyone's stomach, but simply grew in the cave near where the remains were found. Nevertheless, the incident sparked significant interest within the scientific community. Some researchers suggested that, in theory, a seed could sprout from a human corpse, particularly when the seed comes into contact with the nutrients released during decomposition. Professor Jay Noller, a soil and crop expert, affirmed, "Seeds can sprout from animal corpses, and I can easily imagine them sprouting from a human body." He explained that the tree could grow not just from the stomach, but also from other parts of the body, such as the small or large intestines. Even if the seed was in the deceased's pocket or near the burial site, the tree could still absorb nutrients from the decomposing body to grow. This is not the first time a tree has been found growing from a human body. In 2015, researchers in Ireland discovered a medieval skeleton intertwined with the roots of an uprooted oak tree. This discovery clearly showed that life can spring forth from the decomposition of a corpse. The story of the fig tree growing from Ahmet Ergun's stomach is not only a mysterious legend, but also offers a new perspective on the connection between life and death, humanity and nature. In a world full of mysteries, stories like this will likely continue to inspire those who seek the truth hidden beneath the surface. The Alien Graveyard. Deep in the forest near Kigali, Rwanda, in Central Africa, archaeologists have discovered a mysterious ancient grave containing unsolved riddles. The skeletons found in this grave are strangely shaped, clearly different from modern humans, leading many to ask, could these be the remains of beings from outer space? Initial reports suggest that these skeletons are around 500 years old, and they bear no resemblance to any known ancient human groups. What is particularly odd is that despite being located in a vast area, there is no evidence suggesting that this was once a human settlement. Furthermore, among the shared graves, about 200 skeletons were found remarkably well preserved and had not decayed, leading many scientists to believe they might be extraterrestrial beings who died on Earth. One theory proposes that these beings may have perished from viruses they had never encountered. However, no traces of a spacecraft or debris have been found nearby, making the mystery even deeper. This is not the first time archaeologists have uncovered unusual skeletons. In the summer of 1937, a Chinese research team led by Professor Chi Pute discovered caves in the Bayan Kara-Ula Mountains. Inside these caves, they found skeletons with unusually large heads and strange bodies. Nearby, they found 176 stone tablets, each with a hole in the middle and inscribed with mysterious symbols. Additionally, the cave walls were covered with drawings of the sun, moon, and stars, as well as elongated dots. Experts spent 2 decades deciphering the ancient writings in the Bayankara Ula caves. Eventually, Professor Zoom Umchu from Peking University decoded many of the symbols and explained that they described an event about 12,000 years ago when a celestial object fell in this area. In another instance, a Turkish minority person discovered a bizarre mummified body measuring only 4 feet tall, with pale green skin, transparent wings protruding from the shoulders, and eyes 3 times the size of human eyes, resembling those of a snake. Despite the many differences, the body shape of this entity still resembled that of a human. Not long ago, archaeologists also discovered a mummy in an ancient Egyptian tomb that was over 8 feet tall, with no nose, ears, or tongue, and a wide mouth. Surrounding this mummy were many strange objects. Unlike the typical burial items of ancient Egyptian culture, including discs with strange writing, metallic clothing, and shoes made of a material similar to plastic, some of the stone tablets also featured images of stars and planets, suggesting a possible connection to space. Researchers propose that, beyond the alien theory, other theories exist, such as these beings being a subspecies of humans, possibly giants or dwarfs, who once lived alongside us but went extinct for unknown reasons. With these enigmatic and difficult-to-explain discoveries, the question of the origin of the beings in these graves remains unanswered. Are they extraterrestrial beings who arrived on Earth long ago, or are they an ancient human branch that vanished? It is difficult to say, but these findings will likely continue to fuel scientific curiosity and debate, opening a door to humanity's unexplored mysteries. The 2,200-year-old Red Princess's remains. Have you ever thought that in the past, ancient people used harmful or even dangerous materials to create special cultural marks? Probably not, right? But recently, a shocking discovery was made in China, when archaeologists uncovered an ancient tomb belonging to a woman who lived around 2,200 years ago. What surprised everyone was not just the age of the remains, but also a very unusual detail. The woman's teeth were dyed with a highly toxic red mineral. So, what's the story behind this discovery? The tomb was found in a cemetery located in Tarpon, a city in the Xinjiang region of northwestern China. This area was home to the Gushi people, a nomadic group with a unique lifestyle that played an important role in the Silk Road, the legendary trade route linking Eastern and Western civilizations. The tomb is truly a historical treasure, revealing many interesting secrets about a culture that existed over 2,000 years ago. What particularly astonished scientists was the discovery of cinnabar, an extremely toxic red mineral used to dye the woman's teeth. Qian Wang, the lead author of the study, shared that this is the first and only known case in the world of cinnabar being used to dye teeth in ancient times. Indeed, no one could have imagined that such a toxic substance would be used for beauty or as a symbol in ancient society. Researchers confirmed that this woman died between the ages of 20 and 25, and her remains showed traces of cinnabar pigment on her teeth. To better understand the composition of this pigment, scientists used spectral analysis and discovered that the red pigment was a combination of cinnabar and animal protein, possibly egg yolk or egg white. This proves that she deliberately painted her teeth rather than it being a random occurrence. With these discoveries, this woman has been called the Red Princess of the Silk Road, a name that evokes the Red Queen of the Maya civilization, whose remains were also covered in cinnabar powder. However, the key difference here is the use of cinnabar to dye teeth, something never before seen in ancient cultures. So, why was such a strange ritual used? Although the exact reason remains a mystery, researchers have proposed a few hypotheses. First, it could have served an aesthetic purpose, or it might have been a sign of social class distinction. There is even a possibility that cinnabar was used as part of religious rituals or practices by ancient shamans. Whatever the true story behind it is, these discoveries will certainly continue to raise fascinating questions about ancient cultures and how people of that time viewed and utilized the natural materials around them. And perhaps every time we encounter these remains, we not only see a relic, but also a part of history's essence, a part of the untold story of the people who lived and left their mark on the great journey of humankind. Chinese archaeologists opened 2,000-year-old tomb of the greatest king, and what's inside shocked them. On Mount Juzong, approximately 37 miles from Xi'an, Shanxi Province, China, lies the largest tomb of the Tang Dynasty, which is also the final resting place of the emperor considered to be the greatest in Chinese history, Emperor Taizong, Li Shimin. Li Shimin was the second son of Emperor Gaozu of Tang, the founder of the Tang Dynasty. In 626, Li Shimin orchestrated the Xuanwu Gate incident, where he assassinated his older brother, Li Jiancheng, and younger brother, Li Yuanji, in order to seize the throne, forcing his father to abdicate in his favor. Upon ascending to the throne, Emperor Taizong, Li Shimin, implemented policies to reduce class and national conflicts in order to ensure domestic peace. Compared to other princes, Li Shimin stood out for his administrative talents. He appointed officials himself, trusted those he had once defeated, and even promoted non-Han people to key positions. He also encouraged officials to express their personal views, even if they differed from the emperor's own. As the ruler who led the Tang Dynasty into its golden age, Li Shimin is considered by modern Chinese historians to be the greatest emperor in Chinese history. Li Shimin passed away at the age of 51 and was buried at Jiaoling, the tomb located on Mount Jiuzong. He was the first to start the trend of building imperial tombs on high mountains during the Tang Dynasty. This choice of tomb location differed from other dynasties in Chinese history and is believed to have originated when Empress Changsun, Li Shimin's only wife, passed away in 636. At the time, Empress Changsun expressed a desire for a simple and modest burial on a mountain without a grand tomb. Li Shimin once spoke of his and the Empress's tombs. "I am the son of heaven ruling a vast land. Why should I be buried with gold, silver, and jewels? The tomb on Mount Jiuzong has no gold, no jade, and no horses or slaves buried with me. All items are made of earth and wood, so thieves will not dare to come, avoiding future troubles." However, Li Shimin's decision to build a tomb on the mountain for himself and the empress was not driven by simplicity or frugality, but rather as a display of imperial power and grandeur. Jiaoling was constructed in 636 to house Empress Changsun's tomb and was continuously expanded until its completion in 649 after Li Shimin's death. Over the 13 years of construction, Jiaoling consumed a vast amount of wealth and labor from the Tang Dynasty. The entire tomb complex covers an area of 37 miles and contains 167 noble and royal tombs of the Tang Dynasty. The highest point on the mountain is the resting place of Emperor Taizong, Li Shimin. The tombs of the imperial guards are placed on either side, lower than the emperor's tomb. Each tomb has a stone tablet with inscriptions where officials express their honor in being buried within the emperor's tomb complex. Mount Jiuzong has a steep slope and stands 3,898 feet above sea level. The view from the mountain is magnificent. Historical documents reveal that the palace of Jiaoling was carved deep into the mountain. The tomb corridor is 755 feet long and is protected by 5 stone gates. The tomb chambers are luxurious and are surrounded on both the eastern and western sides, containing stone boxes with sacrificial items. All of this was mentioned by Wen Tao, a Chinese warlord during the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period. Wen is believed to be the first person to have entered the solidly constructed tomb of the Tang Emperor, expressing his astonishment at the palace's opulence, which rivaled the outside world. The main coffin was placed on a stone platform in the main chamber. Inside the tomb, many ancient books and handwritten documents from the previous era were found. The tomb also contained a large amount of gold and silver, but the exact details have not been disclosed by archaeologists. Built 300 years ago, Jiaoling is no longer the grand structure it once was, but many valuable artifacts still exist to this day. The most notable are 6 carved stone statues of war horses, known as the 6 steeds of Jiaoling. These 6 horses had accompanied Emperor Taizong in numerous battles and had saved his life on multiple occasions, so upon his death, he wished for them to continue protecting him. Li Shimin also wrote poems describing these prized horses, which were carved into stone. The statues are placed on either side of the north gate of Jiaoling. Each stone statue of a warhorse is estimated to be 8.2 feet long and 9.8 feet wide. 2 of the 6 warhorse statues were brought to the United States and are now housed at the University of Pennsylvania Museum. The remaining 4 statues are displayed at the Shanxi Provincial Museum in China. However, the greatest regret is that to this day, Chinese historians and archaeologists have not been allowed to explore the main palace, where the body of Emperor Taizong, Li Shimin, is buried. As a result, Jiaoling remains an ongoing mystery. But even so, the current knowledge we have is enough for us to see just how magnificent this emperor's tomb was. Hopefully, one day, historians and archaeologists will be able to get closer, and we will be able to personally witness the mysteries within the grand coffin of the emperor who is considered the greatest in Chinese history. The tomb. Richer than the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the world has searched for nearly 800 years without finding it. Throughout the course of human history, no name seems to carry as much mystery as Genghis Khan, the great Mongol emperor who conquered nearly the entire world, creating an empire that stretched from Asia to Europe. However, there is one strange and unresolved mystery. Despite nearly 800 years having passed, the location of his tomb remains a secret that archaeologists have been unable to uncover. So why is his tomb so mysterious? Let's take a journey to search for the traces of this most powerful man in human history. We begin with the death of Genghis Khan in 1227. His death remains mysterious, and to this day, it remains one of the biggest questions that historians cannot answer. Some people believe that he died from an arrow wound to the knee, as described by Marco Polo, the first European to travel across Asia during the medieval period. However, according to the Secret History of the Mongols, another theory suggests that he fell off his horse while hunting. Like the death of the Mongol war god, the location of his tomb also remains an unsolved puzzle for modern scholars. Throughout his lifetime of conquest, Genghis Khan, along with his world-famous cavalry, swept across Asia and Europe, plundering and dominating countless rich cities. Therefore, Genghis Khan's tomb was undoubtedly filled with countless treasures and relics from both Western and Eastern cultures. Genghis Khan's tomb is even said to be 100 times richer than the famous tomb of Qin Shi Huang in Shanxi Province, China. The only thing that is certain in historical documents about Genghis Khan is that his body was transported back to Mongolia after his death. Many Mongolian historians believe that Genghis Khan was buried near the Onun River, close to the Altai Mountains, a place where many Mongol kings rest. But this is all speculation. Some people think that his tomb may be located in the Khenti Mountains, a place tied to Genghis Khan's youth. It was there that he stood on a mountain peak and prayed to the heavens for the strength to unite the Mongol tribes, and indeed, all his wishes came true. Yet despite numerous surveys, from Chinese archaeological teams to large-scale searches funded by National Geographic, the result has always been nothing. So why has the search for Genghis Khan's tomb been so difficult? One noteworthy theory is that his loyal soldiers created extremely meticulous layers of protection to hide all traces. After his body was buried, thousands of horses were brought in to trample all the evidence. Those who participated in his burial were also killed to protect the secret. Every clue seems to have been completely erased, and therefore his tomb remains an unsolvable mystery. However, the search has never stopped. Archaeological teams continue their efforts despite every challenge, from opposition from the Mongolian people to bizarre phenomena such as snakes appearing and attacking when archaeologists get too close to the tomb. All of this only adds to the mystery surrounding the tomb of Genghis Khan. But there is one thing that all historians must agree on. No matter where his tomb is located, it remains a part of the grand story of a man who changed the course of human history. Genghis Khan was not just a warrior. He is also a symbol of power, intelligence, and mystery. So, what do you think about this mystery? Will Genghis Khan's tomb remain forever in the shadows? Or one day, will the secret of the final resting place of this great emperor be revealed? Leave your thoughts in the comments below for everyone to see. The two-tailed tiger and 260 weapons in a 3,000-year-old tomb. In the late 1980s, farmers in the town of Dayangzhou, Jiangxi Province, China, discovered some bronze ceramics while extracting sand. Interestingly, the location of this discovery was near the Niu Dusheng archaeological site, which quickly attracted the attention of the locals. The local authorities swiftly retrieved the bronze items found by the villagers, and archaeologists soon arrived to conduct an investigation, uncovering an ancient tomb. Over 1,500 cultural relics were collected from this 3,000-year-old Shang Dynasty tomb, including 486 bronze items and 754 jade objects. The excavated cultural artifacts were incredibly diverse in type and exquisitely crafted, including sacrificial vessels, musical instruments, farming tools, and weapons. Among the items, a bronze object named the two-tailed tiger from the Shang Dynasty stunned all scholars. The two-tailed tiger, measuring 21 inches in length and weighing 13.7 pounds, is depicted with a large mouth, fierceness, and readiness to attack at any moment. A small bird perches on its back. The relationship between the mighty tiger and the small bird remains a mystery, sparking the imagination of later generations. The tiger's back is adorned with intricate patterns, yet they form a harmonious whole. These patterns were among the most commonly used during the Shang Dynasty. Through the grave goods, it is highly likely that the tomb's owner was a noble. Unfortunately, the body inside the coffin had completely decomposed, making it impossible to determine the identity of the tomb's occupant. The workers found 24 teeth, but upon confirmation, it was discovered that these teeth did not belong to the same person, further deepening the mystery surrounding the tomb's owner. The grave goods also reflect some cultural characteristics of the southern region during the Shang Dynasty. Additionally, the jade artifacts unearthed from the tomb demonstrate the exceptional carving skills of southern jade craftsmen of the time. Furthermore, 260 weapons were unearthed from the tomb, some of which were used in ancient rituals. Some of the weapons had unusual shapes, including a short sword that closely resembled the types of swords popular during the Eastern Zhou period in China. Experts also unearthed arrows and bow-shaped weapons, providing valuable material for archaeological research. The Special Room of Slaves. Pompeii, an ancient Roman city, now exists only as ruins submerged in history, located deep in the Campania region of Italy, near the city of Naples. This land, once a symbol of prosperity and Roman civilization, has now become a place of horrific and heartbreaking mysteries from the past. Pompeii and its sister city, Herculaneum, suffered a similar fate when they were completely destroyed and buried by a violent eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Over the course of 2 days and nights, layers of ash and pumice covered every corner of Pompeii, burying the lives and daily activities of its residents under the immense pressure of nature's fury. The city was buried under 59 feet of ash and pumice, becoming a grim portrait of destruction and the coldness of time. This ruin remained forgotten for the next 1700 years, lost in the flow of history until a chance discovery in 1748 reignited the world's attention. When archaeologists accidentally uncovered these remains, they opened a dark door to an ancient world, full of mystery and terror, where time had frozen in the final moments of life. Pompeii, once a symbol of civilization, now became a symbol of brutality and helplessness in the face of nature's wrath. Specifically, during the years of research at Pompeii, archaeologists discovered a room that offered deeper insights into the daily lives of slaves in the ancient Roman city. Discovered amidst the ruins of the volcanic eruption of 79 AD, this room was located just a few steps away from where archaeologists uncovered the remains of a well-preserved ceremonial chariot. This room served not only as a living space, but also as a storage area, which is hoped to provide more information about the lives of slaves in ancient times. When the room was uncovered, it had only one high window and no decorations on the walls. Inside the room were 2 wooden beds, measuring 5.6 feet and 4.6 feet in length, indicating that a family with young children had once lived here. Nearby, a wooden chest was found containing various metal objects and woven goods, looking like part of a horse harness. Additionally, a wooden steering mechanism for a chariot was found. The room also contained jars and several personal items placed under the beds. Along with these, 8 amphorae, large storage jars, were found in the corner of the room. Moreover, archaeologists discovered the skeletons of 2 individuals, believed to be a wealthy man and one of his male slaves. Both died from the volcanic ash as they tried to escape danger. These findings provide valuable information about the lives and fates of those living during the ancient Roman period, shedding light on the culture and society of that era. The Jade Coffin in the Tomb of Liu Bang. The tomb of Liu Pi, the eldest son of Emperor Gaozu of Han Liu Bang, has recently been excavated in Jiangdu, Jiangsu Province, China. This tomb, which dates back 2,100 years, is filled with gold, silver, and ancient treasures. In addition to being the eldest son of the founding emperor of the Han Dynasty, Liu Pi was also the second king of the state of Qi, a vassal of the Han Dynasty, ruling from Jiangdu in ancient China. When Emperor Gaozu ascended to the throne 6 years into his reign, Han Xin, the king of Qi, was reappointed as the king of Chu, and Liu Pi succeeded him as the king of Qi, receiving 70 cities as reward. However, because of this, Empress Dowager Lu attempted to poison him, and Liu Pi was forced to relinquish some of his territories to calm the situation. King of Qi Liu Pi passed away in 128 BC at the age of 32, after 26 years of rule. Despite repeated grave robberies, archaeologists were thrilled to discover over 10,000 priceless artifacts made of gold, silver, copper, and jade, and, more remarkably, several life-size chariots and dozens of smaller ones. According to experts from the Nanjing Museum in China, the excavation took place between 2009 and 2011. The tomb complex covers a length and width of about 600 feet and contains 3 main tombs, 11 secondary tombs, 2 pits with chariots and horses, and 2 pits with weapons. The largest burial mound, which is 500 feet long, was once the tomb of the king of Qi. The tomb features 2 long tunnels leading to the burial chamber. This is also where many ritual offerings and burial items were placed to serve Liu Pi's posthumous needs, in accordance with ancient beliefs. During his lifetime, Liu Pi was known for his extravagant lifestyle and his admiration for physical strength, so his tomb is filled with weapons, including swords, spearheads, crossbows, halberds, knives, and more than 20 chariot models. Archaeologists also found musical instruments such as a guqin, Chinese zither, and jade tuning pegs. Money was also buried with him, and experts have discovered a treasure trove containing more than 100,000 square-holed coins from the time of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Other daily items, cooking utensils, and food remnants were also found. Sadly, the king's coffin was damaged, and his body had decomposed. However, in the second tomb, labeled M2, experts discovered a jade coffin, which became the most impressive discovery of the entire tomb, alongside gold, silver, copper items. Although the central burial chamber had been looted, the structure of the jade coffin remains intact, meaning this is the first ever discovered undamaged jade coffin in Chinese archaeological history. It is also the first time that elephant and rhinoceros statues were found, indicating that China at that time had begun trade with foreign countries. When Liu Pi died, his son Liu Zhuang succeeded him as the vassal king, known as King Ai of Qi. In the 7th year after his father's death, Liu Zhuang led an army to attack the Liu family, and at this time, the Han Dynasty came under the control of Empress Dowager Lu. Under the pressure of King Qi's forces, power returned to the Liu family, and Liu Bang's son, Liu Heng, became Emperor Wen of Han. 10,000 pieces of gold and silver, found at the river bottom. On March 20th, Chinese archaeologists announced the discovery of a treasure trove of over 10,000 gold and silver items dating back more than 300 years, found at the bottom of a river in Sichuan Province, China. The treasure was discovered approximately 16 feet beneath the riverbed, at the confluence of the Minjiang and Jinjiang rivers, about 31 miles south of Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan Province. The treasure contains many coins, as well as jewelry made of gold, silver, and copper, alongside iron weapons such as swords, knives, and spears. Although the inscriptions on the gold and silver items have not yet been deciphered, archaeologists note that the intricate designs on the jewelry showcase the skilled craftsmanship of ancient artisans. Li Boqian, an archaeologist from Peking University, remarked that these items are invaluable for the study of Chinese science, history, and art, as well as offering significant insights into the political, economic, social, and military life during the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644. The area is known to be the site where the leader of the peasant uprising, Zhang Xianzhong, was defeated by the Ming army in 1646. Legend has it that Zhang Xianzhong carried 1,000 boats filled with gold, silver, and treasures looted from his raids to the Laohu dock in Jiangku, Banshan County, China, where he was ambushed by Ming generals, causing most of his fleet to sink into the river. The items found during this excavation have helped pinpoint the location of the battle and provide clear evidence of this historical event. 3,000-year-old ancient mask. On June 8th, Argentine archaeologists announced the discovery of a rectangular bronze human mask dating back 3,000 years in the Andes Mountains. This raises doubts about the theory that Peru was the birthplace of pre-Columbian metallurgy in South America. This is the oldest bronze artifact ever discovered in this region. However, the most significant concern for researchers is why the ancient mask was found in the Cajon Valley, located in the northwestern Andes of Argentina. The mask was used in a funeral ceremony 3,000 years ago, during a time when humans were transitioning from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to a settled existence focused on agriculture and animal husbandry. It also proves that the Cajon Valley and surrounding areas once served as an important center for bronze craftsmanship. The mask measures about 7 inches long and 6 inches wide, and it was handmade, hammered from the center outward. It features holes for the eyes, nose, and mouth, along with smaller holes along the edges used for securing the mask on the face. The mask was revealed by rainfall along with 14 human skeletons, concentrated in a grave near the La Quebrada province in northwestern Argentina. Additionally, scientists discovered a second burial site nearby, which contained the remains of a 12-year-old child, also dating back 3,000 years. Furthermore, experts identified a copper ore deposit located approximately 43 miles from the Cajon Valley, where the mask was found. This discovery suggests that the mask was crafted locally and provides strong evidence that metallurgy may have begun in Argentina rather than Peru, as previous research had suggested. Dear friends, the ancient world always holds many fascinating secrets. It's not just about the valuable discoveries of artifacts, but also the entire historical process behind them that we as humans need to dig into and explore. What do you think about today's topic? Which discovery impressed you the most? Leave your comment below, and don't forget to give the channel a like and subscribe so you won't miss any other exciting discoveries. For now, goodbye and see you again soon.